Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I am glad you made it. The VA is making it happen. It is actually happening. Now, the question is on everybody's mind, what sort of detriment will this pose? What sort of collateral damage will there be, if any? Now, there is a silver lining around this cloud. I have already done one video on this. I'm doing another one now. Before we jump into it, I want to throw on a special thank you to Rafael Gonzalez. Rafael, thank you so much for that super comment, super chat. I really do appreciate your support very much. It really does matter, and I really do appreciate you. Thank you, Rafael. You're the man. All right, so the VA is making it happen. It is happening. They have announced it. We are directly on the VA's information page here. This came out July 7th. And again, I've already done one video on it, doing another one right now to share with you because it's good to get the information out. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Every thumbs up, every minute watched really does help the channel, and I do appreciate that. All right, so the headline is VA to reduce staff by nearly 30,000. It's not 80, but it is 30. And that's Stan in the background. For those that don't know, I have a rooster. He does rooster things. All right. So VA to reduce staff by nearly 30,000 by the end of fiscal year 2025. Fiscal year, you ask? Fiscal year for the federal government ends at the end of September. So by the end of September, we're going to have 30,000 less VA employees. What sort of issues could we possibly see? Again, it's not 80,000, so that's a good thing, but it is 30, and that's a large number. Now, I'm going to go through this. There is a silver lining that is kind of thread through here several times. It is not the headline, which is funny to me because you would think that they would lead off with the silver lining and then dive into the particulars, if you will. Anyway, that's not how I would do it. If I were in the VA's shoes and if I were trying to share this information from the VA's perspective, I would want to highlight the silver lining and then build around that on how we got to that silver lining. Anyway, we'll jump into it now. Hit the thumbs up again. I appreciate you. Every thumbs up, every minute watch really does help. If you want to support the channel in other ways, consider being a member. Thank you so much to all you members. The reduction achieved through normal attrition, early retirements, deferred resignations, and the federal hiring freeze eliminates need for a large-scale reduction in force. That is the first hint of the silver lining, right? It eliminates the need for a large-scale reduction in force. Now, I would argue 30,000 is a large number, but they aren't saying that that is all from a reduction in force. They're saying that that includes normal attrition, early retirements, deferred resignations, and the federal hiring freeze. I'm also going to start this off with, I had mentioned a while back, I personally believed that the VA secretary would draw a line in the sand somewhere and say, look, this is it. We can't move any further than this number because it will absolutely start to impact veterans, which we can't have happen. Here's as far as we can go, and that's it. Once the VA secretary got his arms around the organization, which is gigantic and I'm sure is a very difficult task in itself. So I'm going to kind of run through this real quick and just highlight the silver lining as we go through it. The Department of Veterans Affairs today announced it's on pace to reduce total VA staff by nearly 30,000 employees by the end of fiscal year 2025, eliminating the need for large-scale reduction in force. While VA had been considering a department-wide RIF, reduction in force, to reduce staff levels by up to 15%, employee reductions through the federal hiring freeze, deferred resignations, retirements, and normal attrition have eliminated the need for that RIF. Silver lining. The hey, you gotta get rid of 80,000 has now dissipated. It has evaporated. It is no longer on the table, according to what I'm reading here. It's not specifically saying, I guess it kind of is. It has eliminated the need for that RIF. Gone. The numbers break down as follows. There's two specific bullet points here. VA had roughly 484,000 employees on January 1st, 2025. and 467,000 employees as of June 1st, 2025, a reduction of nearly 17,000. Between now and September 30th, the end of the fiscal year, the department expects nearly 12,000 additional employees will exit through normal attrition, voluntary early retirement authority, or the deferred resignation program. The VA has multiple safeguards in place to ensure these staff reductions do not impact veteran care or benefits. All VA mission-critical positions are exempt from the DRP, which is the Deferred Resignation Program, and VERA, and more than 350,000 positions are exempt from the federal hiring freeze. Meanwhile, VA performance continues to improve under President Trump and Secretary Collins. Now, there's several bullet points here. I'm going to go through them. VA's disability claims backlog is already down nearly 30% after it increased 24% during the Biden administration. Now, this one's a little bit, I don't know. I don't really care what side anybody's on. What I'm worried about is veteran stuff. And look, I'm happy that the backlog's going down. That's a good thing. It needs to be focused on. But on the other hand, the PACT Act ended up pulling in a bunch of new claims that wouldn't have happened probably otherwise. So if you get a big wave of claims coming in, you're going to by default have a backlog that's going to slowly start to reduce itself over time because you're going to get less and less quote unquote PACT Act claims coming through the door. The big initial push is over. So there's that. So I don't know how much is actually in there from that. I'm not privy to the numbers, but just to shine that kind of light on it. But the focus on backlog is good, and we must focus on that, and we must pull that down. All right, moving on. Next bullet point. VA is processing record number of disability claims, reaching 1 million claims processed for fiscal 2025 on February 20th, and reaching 2 million claims by June. Both achievements were done in record time. VA has implemented major reforms to make it easier for survivors to get benefits after serious problems during the Biden administration. 4 more bullet points here. VA, I don't know if you could hear it. It's Stan. He's medium-ish away, but still close enough to hear. He waits for me, I think. So VA is accelerating the deployment of its integrated electronic health record system after the program was nearly dormant for almost 2 years under the Biden administration. VA is phasing out, next bullet point, VA is phasing out treatment for gender dysphoria. Frankly, this common sense reform should have been done years ago, but only President Trump and Secretary Collins had the courage to do it. Next 2 bullet points. VA ended the DEI, that would be diversity, equity, and inclusion, at the department, reversing the divisive Biden-era policies and stopping more than $14 million in DEI spending. He's a rooster. All right. VA has brought more than 60,000 VA employees back to the office where we can work better as a team to serve veterans. All right, there's a little bit more here. I'm going to share this with you as well. Since March, this is a quotation, since March, we've been conducting a holistic review of the department centered on reducing bureaucracy and improving services to veterans, said VA Secretary Doug Collins. As a result of our efforts, VA is headed in the right direction, both in terms of staff levels and customer service. A department-wide RIF is off the table. Again, silver lining. That 80,000 RIF, reduction in force of 80,000, is gone. It has dissipated. A department-wide RIF is off the table. But that doesn't mean we're done improving VA. Our review has resulted in a host of new ideas for better serving veterans that we'll continue to pursue. VA is currently exploring a number of additional reforms to improve operational efficiency and service to veterans, including, and there's 3 bullet points here, and we'll run through those and wrap it up. Today, which was July 7th when this came out, today the Veterans Health Administration, Veterans Benefits Administration, and National Cemeteries Administration, the three-headed monster of the VA, each one kind of operates in its own silo. Imagine. All right. So those three administrations all run duplicative and costly administrative functions. Go, government, go. That can be centralized or restructured so they can each focus on their core missions of healthcare, benefits, and burial services, respectively. To that end, VA is reviewing the centralization of support functions to streamline operations and improve support to veterans, including areas such as police, procurement. Let's try that again. Procurement. Whatever. One take, Jake. Let's roll. Construction, IT, budgeting, and others. VA operates, just another bullet point, and then there's one more after this. VA operates 274 separate call centers that are not connected to one another. A centralized call center with modernized systems would lead to quicker and better service for veterans and could be run with fewer staff members. VA has a proven payroll system that processes paychecks. This is the last bullet, by the way, has a proven payroll system that processes paychecks for more than 200,000 VA employees. But some 50 VA medical centers still process their own payroll. VA is already working to consolidate payroll for all employees under the VA time and attendance system, which will save time, money, and resources. With that, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to see your comments. There's some silver lining in this reduction of 30,000, and the big focus here is natural attrition, early retirements, deferred resignation, and all of those things will help to get us there. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.